Hello students, today we are going to learn diffraction. So I have the skeleton for the entire topic diffraction. Just we will try to understand diffraction in a simple way. So let us start. Number 1, diffraction. It is the phenomenon in which ray of light bend over an obstacle and encroaches in a geometrical shadow region. That's a diffraction. There are number of examples of diffraction in your day-to-day life as well. Some of them entering a light into a geometrical shadow region. If you see the shadow of any object, you will find that the shadow appears to be dark or faint, somewhere dark, somewhere faint. So basically that's a diffraction. Number 2, sun is behind the cloud, so you find out that the edge of the clouds are shining. These are some examples of diffraction. There are two types of diffraction. One is Fresnel's diffraction and another is a Fraunhofer diffraction. Fresnel's diffraction, the source is at finite distance, whereas in Fraunhofer diffraction, source is at infinite distance. So infinite distance, practically it is not possible in our lab. So therefore we use a combination of lens and the source. Source at infinite distance means the rays of light are coming parallel to us. So how do we get rays of light? So this is the compulsory diagram. See, we have a source of light S. Now at the focus of lens, if suppose you place an object, so if object is at the focus, final images is going to form at infinity, means after that you are going to get the parallel beams of light, and these parallel beams of light we always used to study. This means it is a compulsory in every diagram but not shown in every diagram. It is understood these are parallel beams. So from how we get this parallel beam? From this particular combination. So every time you need to manage it. Okay, now first diffraction, let us see. When theta is equal to 0, when theta is equal to 0, see, okay, means you are not inclining anything. Now if theta is equal to 0, see the lens, placement of the lens, all the rays are falling onto the lens. Now if all the rays are falling onto the lens, make sure it is convex lens, so definitely it will converge at one particular point. So the distance traveled by each of the rays of light, say for example for this one and for this one, for this one and for this one, if you take two rays of light, you will definitely find that the path difference is 0, means path difference is 0, that is all the wave will reach in a same phase and at a same point simultaneously. So that means there is a central maxima. This is the brightest point. So of course I will just make a note for this. This is the brightest point, and this brightest point is basically central maxima. See how we can get it. If suppose you have the screen, so if the lens, if this distance is focal length, so if object is at infinity, image is always formed at the focus. So by using this, when you say theta is equal to 0, you get the brightest point. That's the central maxima. Okay, now we will do one thing. We will change the angle of incidence. So let us see how we change it. This is what we have. Now previously the rays of light, see I just drawn a parallel rays of light. Okay, now I just made a point that it is inclined to some angle. See, this is the inclination. This inclination is theta 1. So as this inclination is theta 1, theta 1, theta 1, theta 1. So this inclination is theta 1. So the rays of light are inclined. See over here. Now if these rays of light are inclined, 100% sure that the path traveled from A to P will be different from B to P. There will be a path difference, and to get that path difference, what we do, we just draw a projection. So if this slit width, this is a slit width, okay, if this slit width is equal to A, so A, B, E, so we have a path difference is equal to BE from triangle sin theta 1. This angle is sin theta 1, so sin theta 1 is equal to BE upon AB, so BE upon A we have it, and this BE is equal to A sin theta 1. Okay, so see over here, BE is equal to A sin theta. Now we divide it into two equal parts. Okay, so this path difference is BE. Now if suppose BE is lambda, BE, so from here this is B, this is E. So if this BE is lambda, means the rays of light is starting from here, it start from here in this way, and over here when it comes, it form one complete wave. Okay, means it start from here and ends up here. So this path difference become lambda, and we divide it into two equal parts. So see over here, just for understanding, just for your understanding, this AB, I divide it into 12 equal parts. That means from here to here, this is 12. So if you look at the diagram, see 1 and 2, 1 and 7, 2 and 8, 3 and 9, 4, 10, they all cancel, and as they cancel, the resultant is what you get it as the first minima. This is the condition for minima. We divide it into two equal parts. Two equal parts means one wave, lambda. If suppose you divide it into four equal parts means 2 lambda. So if you divide it into four equal parts, so here the condition is for 4 equal parts. Okay, now same diagram, we divide it into 4 equal parts. Now see over here, it is 2 lambda, means from A, B to E it is going to be 12. So we have 4 equal parts, lambda by 2, lambda by 2, lambda by 2, lambda by 2. And in the similar way, if you understand your diagram, all these in the opposite phase will cancel each other, and as a result this will be our second minima. So see over here, similarly we can have it for 3 lambda. Okay, so PD is 1 lambda for first minima, PD is 2 lambda for second minima, PD is 3 lambda for third minima, PD is n lambda for nth minima. That means BE is equal to A sin theta, that is n lambda. In general, A theta, because theta is very small, so theta is very small, so tan sine of theta is approximately equal to theta when theta is very small, n lambda. So we have theta is equal to lambda by A, and if you have it for both these sides, because diffraction pattern you are going to get on both these sides, so plus minus lambda by A. That's about the minima. Okay, now let us talk about maxima. Now for maxima, okay, let us take theta 1 dash. Now theta 1 dash means path difference, we are taking lambda by 3 lambda by 2. Now path difference, what we do, we take the path difference as, we take the path difference as 3 lambda by 2. Suppose this is what we have, theta dash, a different angle, you can continuously change the angle. So now the path difference is 3 lambda by 2, means from B to E your portion is like this. So this is 3 lambda by 2. Now if you look at this 3 lambda by 2 and divide it accordingly in equal parts, you find out that 1 and 5, 2 and 6, 3 and 7 will cancel each other. But 1 and 9, similarly 2 and 10, similarly 3 and 11 will add, and as they add, the opposite one gets cancelled, but in the same phase they get add, and as a result you get first maxima. Okay, so this is what we have the condition for first maxima, 3 lambda by 2. Similarly, if suppose we have a 5 lambda by 2, accordingly you are going to get it. Okay, accordingly we are going to get it 5 lambda by 2. See over here, so this is 5 lambda by 2. So when you divide, you have accordingly conditions. So B is A sin theta 2, 3 lambda by 2. This is 5 lambda by 2. Similarly, you can have, because 3, 5, they are odd numbers. So it is 2n plus 1 lambda by 2. Theta is very small. So sine of theta again. Sine of theta is approximately equal to theta. That is A theta is equal to 3 lambda by 2. So theta is equal to 3 lambda by 2a. And for both the side plus minus 3 lambda by 2a. That is the condition for second maxima. Okay. So minima and maxima, and the last one is the graphical representation. So see about the graphical representation. This is the central maxima, the brightest point. Central maxima, the brightest point. This is first minima. This is first minima. So plus lambda by a. We have learned what is plus, how we get it. Plus lambda by a. This is minus lambda by a. This is our second minima, plus 2 lambda by a, minus 2 lambda by a. This is our third, minus plus 3 lambda by a, minus 3 lambda by a. Of course, after this, the diffraction patterns become almost not, means invisible, or it is very difficult for us to observe. So 3 is okay. So central maxima. Now if suppose you take a midpoint for this one. Okay, so this is your first maxima. Similarly, this is your first maxima. Now if you check this part, this is 3 lambda by 2a. So this becomes minus 3 lambda upon 2a. This point on graph it becomes like this. On graph it is like this, and accordingly you will get maxima and minima, the point. Now in diffraction we need to remember one thing, students, that the intensity goes on changing. Okay, so that's all about diffraction. Hope we understood the things. If suppose you have any doubt, you are free to contact or WhatsApp on this number. Okay, please be free to share any doubts. Thank you.